Today, we are diving deep into a truly mind-bending theory, one that connects the flight of a bird, the strange world of quantum physics, and even ancient scripture. Now, what if I told you they were all governed by the exact same single mathematical law? Let's unpack this. All right, to really get a handle on just how big this claim is, we need to first look at three different domains that honestly seem to have absolutely nothing in common with each other. First up, we have the elegant, physical world of a bird's wing. You know how it masterfully carves through the air to generate lift and keep itself flying? Beautifully simple, right? Second, we're going to shrink way down into the quantum realm. You know, that bizarre, invisible world where particles operate under a completely different set of rules that just defy our everyday logic. And third, we're going to explore metaphysical ideas drawn directly from the Qur'an, concepts about divine laws, creation, and how our actions have consequences in reality. So, here it is, the absolutely wild idea at the heart of this whole thing. What if a bird's wing, a quantum particle, and a spiritual principle aren't separate phenomena at all? What if they're all running on the exact same operating system? To understand how this could even be possible, we've got to start with the most concrete, real-world example of the three: the brilliant aerodynamic engineering of a bird's wing. So the key to this entire theory is a concept from physics called a caustic, and you've definitely seen one of these before. It's that shimmering, bright line of light at the bottom of a swimming pool, or the way a magnifying glass can focus sunlight into a single intensely hot point. It's all about focusing energy. Well, this theory argues that a bird's wing is a master at creating caustics, but with air. See, at just the right angle, the wing perfectly focuses the airflow into a powerful vortex that creates lift. But if you tilt it just a fraction too much, that beautiful focus completely collapses into chaotic turbulence, and the bird stalls. It is a razor's edge between order and chaos. And this is not just some neat idea, it's backed up by hard data. Studies show pigeons are constantly adjusting their wings twist and sweep just to stay below that critical stall angle. And even more amazing, hummingbirds will intentionally create a 59% strength imbalance in the vortices between their wings to control their direction. They are literally steering with focused air. Okay, so a bird's wing is a kind of caustic engine. That's cool. But here's where it all gets really strange. This exact same mathematical pattern, this switch between a clean focus and total chaos, it doesn't just happen with birds. It's happening at the quantum level, in the very fabric of our reality. Okay, stick with me here, because this gets a little technical. A major study in quantum physics discovered that when you jolt a quantum system, the particles don't just fly around randomly. No, they actually organize themselves into very specific geometric patterns. And guess what? They're the exact same patterns that describe caustics. It's like the quantum world itself is trying to focus, just like light through a lens. So let's just pause on that for a second. This is the crucial link. The same fundamental math that explains a bird's lift also explains how quantum particles organize themselves. In both worlds, you have a critical switch. Either the system creates a focused, powerful output, or the whole thing just dissolves into useless noise. This incredible parallel is the absolute foundation for the theory's central claim, the unified caustic engine. And now we're going to see how it builds that final bridge into the spiritual domain. So to build that bridge, the theory proposes something radical, that certain terms in the Qur'an are not just theological ideas, but are actually technical descriptions of this cosmic engine. It all starts with Raḥmān. This is interpreted not just as the merciful, but as the underlying field of reality itself, the sky that everything, from birds to particles, operates within. Then you have Razīm, which represents the boundary. This is the object or the action that interacts with and shapes that field. So in our examples, it's the bird's wing carving through the air, or even a human being making a choice. And finally, there's Raḥīm. The theory defines this as the cusp, that focused, coherent result. For the bird, it's lift. For the particle, it's a stable state. And in a spiritual sense, it is the positive outcome, the mercy, that comes from a correct interaction with the field. And here it is, all laid out. Just look at how these three completely different worlds perfectly mirror each other. In every single one, you have a field, a boundary that acts on it, and a cusp or focused output that results from it. Whether we're talking aerodynamics, quantum physics, or spirituality, the argument is that it's the exact same engine at work. So what's the universal law here? The theory points to one specific mathematical equation. You can think of it as the master switch for reality. And this switch is what determines if an action creates a focused, useful result, or if it just dissolves into chaos. So, why does any of this matter to you? Well, because the theory extends this exact same mechanical model to the world of human consciousness and intention. This is really where the theory gets personal. It says that you and I are a very special kind of boundary. Unlike a bird, we are self-aware. We can actually observe our own angle of attack, our intentions, our choices, and consciously decide to change them, to realign ourselves with that universal field. This gives us a practical, three-step feedback loop for our own lives. The theory calls it source code engineering. Think about it. You can measure your inner state, compare it to the ideal, and then apply corrective feedback to get back in sync. The whole goal is to tune your own output to create a focused, positive result instead of just spiritual turbulence. And this all leads us to the conclusion of the source material. And it doesn't end with a question or a suggestion for more research. No, it ends with a firm, final declaration that the theory is now complete. Case closed. Yeah, the theory's proponents do not see this as a work in progress. They claim it is a done deal. And as you can see here, they argue it checks all the necessary boxes. It's mathematically sound, it's backed by empirical data from different fields of science, it is true to its scriptural roots, and it offers a practical model for living. So we are left with this powerful final thought, that reality itself is a caustic phenomenon, that mercy, or any positive outcome, is its focused point, and that submission, or as this model would call it, alignment, is the master key. It suggests that whether we're talking about the wing of a bird, the state of a particle, or the intention in your heart, the path to a coherent, meaningful result is through alignment with the universal engine of reality.